I am with the Office of Government Affairs at the Maryland Department of Transportation Secretary's Office. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, where we will hear more about the National Transportation Center at Morgan State University in our beautiful state of Maryland. They'll be presenting on resources available for grant opportunities. And at MDOT, we've been working hard to grow our resources and technical assistance opportunities for local units of government, partners, nonprofits, higher education institutions across the state of Maryland. So we are looking forward to continue to have webinars like this to spread the word about really the tremendous once-in-a-generation federal funding that is available right now for transportation and transportation-related projects and opportunities. We will plan to leave some time at the end of this presentation for Q&A. So please send your questions and comments to us in the chat box, and we will make sure they are addressed. And the slides and the recording of this webinar will be published to our website, which Kristen on our team will toss into the chat now with our little URL link. And with that, I'm going to pass it over to Dr. Jahani, who it's a pleasure to have her here today to tell us about some of the amazing work Morgan State University is doing in this space. And I believe, Dr. Jahani, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the grant agreement for the University Transportation Center was actually just recently executed. So we are particularly excited to hear from you and learn a little more about some of the opportunities and resources you all can provide.
Yes, thank you, Sean. Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me. And I am Mansoura Jayhani, professor in the Department of Transportation and the director of National Transportation Center at Morgan State. And we recently got the Smarter Center that I will talk about. I wanted to give an overview of the National Transportation Center, NTC. So the NTC was established by the Congress under ISD of 1991, so been around for over 30 years. We got authorized in 1998 under T21, and then under Safety Law in 2005. Those grants ended in 2012, and we went to full competition nationwide. Between 2012 and 2016, we were part of other teams, big universities. And we are so proud that in 2016, we got the Urban Mobility and Equity Center, a Tier 1 UTC, and we were lead. I'm going to talk about it more. And very, very recently, we got the Sustainable Mobility and Accessibility Regional Transportation Equity Research Center, or Smarter Center. I'm going to talk more about it. And NTC, under NTC, we have been working with MDOT a lot on different ends. Especially, we are so proud with the MDOT MSU Graduate School Internship Program that we have had it for over 30 years. That program has become a national model and pipeline for employment. We have had over 650 students going to different divisions of MDOT and then got employed by MDOT or by any consulting companies that work with MDOT. We also have had Summer Transportation Institute for over 25 years. We have been bringing high school and recently middle school students in summer to teach them about transportation, STEM, and all the job opportunities that can happen if they pursue transportation career. We celebrated the NTC 30-year anniversary last year, and we had Secretary Buttigieg and Secretary Ford came to our center, and we had a very good event there. Part of our accomplishment at the NTC, we have brought over $60 million of grants. We have completed over 120 research projects. We on technology transfer, we have 2 utility patents, and the 3rd one is coming. We have 8 provisional patents, and also we won 3 awards from Council of University Transportation Centers. In 2020, we won 2, one for Technology Transfer Leadership Award, one for World Development Leadership Award. And in 2021, my predecessor, Dr. Farkas, got the Lifetime Achievement Award of being the center director for 30 years. And the Urban Mobility and Equity Center, or UMEC, we received it based on FAST Act of 2015. We got awarded $1.5 million for 6 years from US DOT. We are proud to say that we are one of the 20 Tier 1 centers nationwide, and one of the 2 HBCUs to be a lead of a Tier 1 or any UTC. Our consortium is a 3-university consortium led by us, and we work with University of Maryland College Park and Virginia Tech. This grant is ending next month, and our new grant has already started. Our new grant is the Sustainable Mobility and Accessibility Regional Transportation Equity Research Center, or SMARTER Center. It is funded under the bill of 2021. We are getting $3 million per year from US DOT for 5 years, and we are one of the 10 regional centers. We are so proud to say that, and one of the first 2 HBCUs to become the lead of a regional center forever. We are a consortium of 8 universities and Morgan State, and I can say that be the first institution to be of any regional centers. Our region is Mid-Atlantic Center, Region 3, and we have several states. I can show you all of the states that are under region. We have at least 1 representative from each state, and also DC. So we have University of Pittsburgh, University of Delaware, Howard University, University of Maryland College Park, University of Virginia, Virginia Tech, Virginia University, and of course us that are the lead. And part of this grant, we are thanking MDOT that is giving us some matching funds. So we just executed the agreement. So besides the $3 million that we are getting from US DOT, we are getting $800,000 from Maryland, from state of Maryland, from MDOT, to work on this center. So we are so happy to do several projects that are specifically for Maryland, and we can work with different modalities, different divisions in MDOT. What kind of research we have been doing or we're going to do based on the name and the concentration of our research center. We are doing accessibility to food, healthcare, and jobs. Mobility, we're going to work on multimodal, complete street, micromobility, also for natural disasters, evacuation, this kind of stuff. Safety, and especially on vulnerable road users, and also advanced technologies connected on automated vehicles, electric vehicles, also on AI and machine learning. We have doing a lot of research in these areas, but we're going to expand and we're going to do more on that. We have presented forward to MDOT. We have lab safety and behavioral analysis lab that we have driving simulators, 2 driving simulators, 1 bike simulator, and we have eye tracking system. So I didn't bring it in here because I presented before several times. But our new facility that we have is mixed traffic connected and automated vehicle testbed. So we have equipped right now 2 intersections at Morgan State on the Perrin Parkway and Hillen Road, at the intersection of Cold Spring and Perrin Parkway, and also 33rd Street and Hiller Road. We have equipped the intersections with CCTV, LiDAR, roadside unit, and we have been equipping Morgan shuttles with onboard unit. So we can do a lot of research, and we are getting a lot of data on this end, and we can do a lot on connected and automated vehicle technology related research. This is a snapshot of our LiDAR in that intersection. So we have a 3D LiDAR and dashboard that it looks at and finds every single object that passes through the intersection, and we get the data almost in real time. And we have tons of data to analyze and do a lot of stuff with it. Several things that we have done so far is pedestrian crossing, the near miss and near collision between vehicle, pedestrian, vehicle, bicyclist, and also jaywalking. And we have been, we are doing a lot more on this end. So under this center, we have been doing research, education, workforce development, and technology transfer activities. These are snapshots of some of the stuff that we have been doing. This is our student presentation at TRB. Every year we have several presentations and posters. That's one of the recent years that we were there. We had Secretary Buttigieg and Secretary Ford for our 30th anniversary that we had a lab tour, and we showed all of our facilities, and students presented what we are doing. On the bottom left is one of the work that we did with Maryland MDOT, MHSO. We had a hands-on wheel, eyes on road campaign. We brought people from MHSO and other places, police department, and a lot of our students, and we presented about the research that we are doing on distracted driving, and also a lot of awareness about to be attentive when driving. The middle picture is one of our MDOT MHSO internship, the luncheon after the internship ends. So we have a year-long internship every year, and we started a new one recently. We are so proud of that. And the right is one of the conferences that our student won an award on Emerging Research National Conference in STEM. And we have been doing a lot on these ends, and we're going to do more, and especially this time we're going to focus on communities and bringing communities and community outreach, bringing them into our research and taking our research to them. Make sure that it's a two-way street, and we make sure that our research considers community needs and all the community information. The effect of UTCs, the University Transportation Center that we have had, is to draw faculty with transportation-related research interests and expertise, not only in engineering, in transportation, but also faculty in planning, policy, computer science, business, you name it. More and more faculty are getting more interested and doing research with us in the center. And so because transportation is interdisciplinary, we are bringing that interdisciplinary into it, and we go beyond engineering with the faculty that we have. And we also were able to have new programs and concentration. We are proud to say that we have a unique Department of Transportation and Urban Infrastructure at Morgan State. Usually transportation is part of civil or transportation or industrial or part of even business school, but we have a separate Department of Transportation at Morgan, offering Bachelor of Science in Transportation, Bachelor of Science in Transportation Engineering. also Master of Science in Transportation Systems and PhD in Transportation Systems. And we are operating the research out of this center into our courses. And we have students that are very ready to go to a job after graduating because our curriculum is transportation concentrated and graduating from the center, working at the center and working with MDOT on internship. We are diversifying workforce using our National Summer Transportation Institute that I talked about and the Department of Transportation that we have. So we are making a pipeline from middle school, high school, to college, to industry, to MDOT and all of the transportation industry. We have been attracting more students to transportation field, especially minorities and women. And we have been increasing our research capacity and capabilities by bringing all this dollar money. And so Morgan State Transportation is known worldwide. I can say that for sure. We are hearing everywhere a lot know about us, and students from all over the world applying to our program. So to apply for federal grants, I'm concentrating more on from the state and local government side, how to apply or what are the resources. So as you know, grants.gov is the source to see all of those requests for proposals, and you can subscribe and get email grants.gov. But you should be registered to grants.gov and registered to grantsolution.gov. The other two, grantsolution.gov, and we are applying and putting the we need to have access to grant solution as well, be registered in that. And Delphi is for in and the financial part of it. So I'm sure you are already on those websites registered, but if you're not, you can make yourself familiar with that. And it's very important to have relationship and know who are the program managers, contact info of each of those grants and agencies. There are a lot of opportunities now under the bill, and you all know that. There is a opportunity of life that we need to make use of it as much as we can. And there are a lot of resources. These are some of the available resources that we can use to find out what are the opportunities that we can choose. The first one is Leadership Grant Dashboard. So when I clicked on that, as you said, you get this website, and in the website you can put any of like eligible applicants. So you can look at all, or you can put, for example, like planning, let's say, eligible applicants. You can put state government, or we can just all, any. You can put just any, or if you want a specific place. And if you are matching waiver, you want to look at rural or any of those, or you can even put keyword. Let's say you're smart. When you apply, you see several of these resources. So agency and the program name and description, position types that is under that, or like we're going to talk about smart crime later. When you click on that, it brings the information about the grants, who are the eligible, who are the eligible users, and all the information, and it gives you the contact information for the grant. And so you can use this as one of the resources to look for grants. And the next one is DOT Navigator. If you click on that one, US DOT Navigator, it has different pages. First, it's apply for DOT grants. So it gives you all different kinds of information for applying for grants, overview of DOT funding and finance, discretionary grant process, snapshot of bill, non-federal match requirements, you name it. So you can just click and read about it. There are pages and pages of information about it. You can even connect with US DOT contact in your state, or even locate your state, look at NPO, all of this stuff that probably you have looked before. And if you go back to the first page, that was apply for DOT grant, all resources that help you how to apply and what are the resources. The second one is find technical assistance resources. Has put a lot of resources for technical assistance to the communities and to local governments. You can put a keyword like, let's say, safety. If you put keyword of safety, you can see all different resources. It could be fact sheet reports, it could be guidance documents, it could be just resource center. So you can click on any of those and read about it to help you and get the resources that you need. You can even have advanced options and narrow it down to what you want, or you can look at everything that is available. And the third place is for bill funding opportunities and DOT bill resources and White House bill resources. So if you click on each of them, it tells you about all of the website of information from different modes and different resources. The next one is no-fault tracker. If you click on no-fault tracker, you can the current no-faults that are available right now. Also, you can see the no-faults that are closed, but you can see what kind of notice of funding has been happening. So on current no-faults, you can read about it and see if you're eligible, if you want to apply. So you see all different kind of no-faults that are right now is happening, and gives you the dates, deadlines. And when you click, it even gives you who is eligible, what kind of material, all different information that you need. So and we go to the Launchpad. The Bill Launchpad has several items. Navigate funding opportunities. When you click on that, you can see all different kind of funding opportunities and the percentage for each topic or keyword. You can change it to look at only like last month, or let's say last 3 months. You can look at all, or look at the category. Let's look at public transportation, for example, or an all agencies search. It shows you these are all of them that are available right now related to public transportation in the last 3 months. So that SMART grant keep coming everywhere, SMART grant, and you see the FDA, several grants that are available, the amount, and when you click on them, you can see all the information and how to apply. And plan ahead for your grant application. Here it shows the timeline of all the NOFOs that came out. You can narrow it down to a specific that you want to look at, or you can just look at all. But let's say if you want to look at, let's say, low or no emission grant programs, and you search it, you see that every year since 2019, you can see what are the timelines. So usually it comes from April to, April, March to May, June. So you can plan ahead. You know that it's going to come sometime soon, or it's right now. We are in August, so you know you have another 8-9 months to applying for that, and you can get ready for it. So it just gives an idea how the NOFOs are coming in different fields. Match your project to successful awards. So you can look at State of Maryland, and you can search all of the grants, or just if you want to put a keyword. But these are all projects that Maryland got so far. Like bus replacement, and it was 2021. These are all opportunities that Maryland took use of, and that can be more. Build partnership and community forum. So you can see if there are some communities or some government agencies, they are looking for partners, or you can put your ad and ask for partnership. So in here, you see the city of Lakeview put a bunch of them. So that's another place to find partners. And get help from Build America Center. Build America Center have a lot of resources. You can look at the resources that they have, or you can email them, contact them, and ask for questions. But there are so many resources in here that it's like a get help place. And next page. These are some sample grants. They are very famous and happening every year. That's SMART grant. We need to take a grant a lot. I know Maryland has done some, but not a whole lot. So we can use this SMART grant. So the eligible are either the state, political subdivision of the state, tribal, public transit agency. So a lot of these grants need to be led or applied by state or counties or any of government agencies. But you can work with academia, with us, and also with private industry to work on these grants, to apply for these grants. So that the SMART grant is a good one. We can use, we can do a lot with that. The other one is reconnecting communities and neighborhoods. Recently, it came out, and that there is a lot of opportunity on that as well. I know some people have been working on it, and hopefully some of you guys will apply for that. Eligible state, local government, NPOs, nonprofits. So that's one. And federal funding programs. That's another resource that shows all different key programs in each of the divisions, and you can look at it and see if there is opportunity you can work with them. And, Maryland grants. There is this link that shows everything that Maryland has got so far from Bill. These are a list of Maryland grants through Bill. And also MDOT has its own page, TSO showing all the grants, pending grants, awarded grants. I don't need to explain that, it's you guys you're doing. And completed ones. So there are a lot of opportunities, and I'm hoping you guys will get the maximum usage of it. And we are more than happy to collaborate with you guys. Our center or other centers, other academia, we can help writing research proposals, bringing ideas, doing part of the work, especially in data collection, analysis, analytics, testing, evaluation, simulation, pilots. A lot of this we can do, work with the state, counties, cities, NPOs, and private companies that they are very eager and they can help. That's all for today. I want to show a video of about our center. ITS America made that video for us. Oh, sorry.
Dr. Jahani, there is no sound playing, so I'll just ensure that this link is provided after the presentation for everyone attending to view.
Oh, okay. Okay, sorry. Yeah. So I'm not showing it then.
Yep, you can hold off on showing it just because we can't hear it.
Sure. Okay. So these are our contact information. You can contact me directly. My email address, my first name, last name @Morgan, or ntcstaff@Morgan. Maybe the second one is more reliable. More people get the email and they can reply faster than me. But I will do my best to respond as soon as I can. So thank you very much for listening to my presentation, and now take questions.
Thanks, Dr. Jahani. I had a couple, if that works, Kristen, if we want to kick off. Could you go to slide 7, Dr. Jahani, if you don't mind? I thought this was really interesting on some of the research opportunities you were talking about, just trying to think out loud a little for potential resources for federal grants. So you mentioned kind of natural disasters and evacuation routes. You know, that makes me think of the PROTECT program and potentially, you know, resiliency improvements and ensuring roads, facilities, other routes, for evacuation remain and then upgraded and maintained. So I'd be curious if perhaps you could talk a little about how the center is going to focus on these topics and like what type of deliverables that may be produced that could be used by local units of government or the state to enhance the data and things that could potentially be used in a grant application.
Yeah, thank you for the question. Yes, we can do some like evacuation modeling, simulation, like what to do evacuation the fastest way possible. Or also we can look at the equity aspects of it, how we can accommodate people that do not have cars to evacuate as soon as possible. Or even we were talking about the sea rise level that is affecting the roads in coastal areas and houses, and how we can put the resources and allocating resources in the best way, in the most equitable way. Those are some of the stuff that we have been thinking, but we can brainstorm more and bring more ideas.
Thank you. Other questions, Kristen, or anything in the chat, or any questions you'd like to ask?
I'm currently answering one question in the chat, but there are no additional questions. But as a reminder, if anyone does have any questions after this webinar, I did include the contact information for MDOT and the NTC staff in the chat box.
Great. And one thing Dr. Jahani mentioned, I'll just mention as well in the chat, was the Reconnecting Neighborhoods program. I thought maybe I'd just spend a second on that. That is a really exciting opportunity, directly available to local units of government, over $3.3 billion in funding there. And it's basically grants to restore community connectivity in areas that have been historically divided by infrastructure barriers, or some type of barrier is preventing affordable access to essential destinations through transportation. We just developed a webinar on that Kristen has put in the chat. It's about 20 minutes. It's our best kind of overview if you prefer listening to something over reading a document and you're driving home or on your train home. Give it a listen. It might be helpful to you. Grants are due for that opportunity on September 28th. And if you're interested in that program, please let us know at MDOT so we can make sure we can be supportive of you or provide any guidance. And of course, making sure you have a letter of support potentially from us, which always nice to get one of those. So any questions on that program, just given Dr. Jahani mentioned it, please be in touch.